Welcome to training for the BT One Voice Anywhere service. In the next 5 minutes, you will learn the basics of how to use this service. Now, let's get started. The BT One Voice Anywhere service simply takes your smartphone. It applies the One Voice Anywhere mobile application from BT. It uses a Wi-Fi connection wherever and whenever you can connect to Wi-Fi. And then, when you place calls from the BT One Voice mobile application, you will place those calls over Wi-Fi and across BT's global One Voice network. Also known as a VoIP call for voice over IP, this call will save your company money in comparison to placing standard mobile calls directly from your mobile phone and paying standard mobile rates. This is especially true when you are roaming internationally. To join the trial, look for a welcome letter from BT. Within that email, it will provide instructions on how to download the One Voice Anywhere mobile application. You will have the option to download the mobile app for an iOS device, which is your iPhone or your iPad, or for an Android device. It will instruct you to log into the One Voice Anywhere mobile application. It will provide your personal username and password that you will use during the trial. It will inform you to connect to a Wi-Fi network, and it will instruct you to begin using the One Voice Anywhere service. Be sure to look for the welcome letter from the address that is listed here. To get started, connect to Wi-Fi and download the BT One Voice mobile application. Launch the mobile app and log into the app, which you see here, by entering your personal username and password that was provided to you in your welcome letter from BT. You will find that the application is intuitive, so explore the app and then you are ready to go. The sample screens that you see in this training module are shown for an iPhone. If you have an Android device, the functions will be the same, but the appearance of the screens may be slightly different. Now, let's get started by placing a direct call. To do this, click on the keypad icon near the bottom of the screen and enter the phone number that you want to dial. Because you can call from anywhere in the world using BT One Voice Anywhere, be sure to always enter the country code. If you need to, just press the backspace button to correct the phone number. To place the phone number, once you've entered the digits, click the call button. When the call is placed, this screen appears. You can now press the keypad button if you need to enter numbers, such as when you are joining a conference call. You can click the speaker button to use the speaker on your phone, and you can click the mute button to mute your call. Another way to enter the country code is to press and hold the 0 button until the plus symbol appears. You can then enter the country code and then finish entering the phone number. As you use the service, things that will be important for you to know are: because your One Voice Anywhere mobile app requires the use of Wi-Fi, the success that you will have in using the One Voice Anywhere service will directly correlate to the quality and the capacity of your Wi-Fi connection. If you ever experience issues with static, voice chop, or dropped calls, the Wi-Fi connection will be the likely source of this issue. Try to connect to a different Wi-Fi network if possible, or if all else fails, use the click-to-call feature that will be described in the advanced section of this training module. One Voice Anywhere is provided to reduce your mobile spend by placing calls from the One Voice Anywhere mobile app over a Wi-Fi connection. In order to realize these savings, it is very important that you place calls from your One Voice Anywhere mobile app as opposed to placing the calls directly from your mobile phone. This will be especially important when you are traveling internationally. Work is underway to make sure that the broadest array of Bluetooth devices are supported and will work with One Voice Anywhere. If during your use you run into a problem with a particular Bluetooth headset, be sure to report the specific device, make, and model at the user survey that will be provided to you at the end of your trial. Use One Voice Anywhere wherever possible when placing international mobile calls and when roaming internationally. This will help us assess the potential cost savings to your company as a result of this trial. There are a number of questions about the BT One Voice Anywhere service that frequently arise, beginning with, do I need to have a Wi-Fi connection? Yes. In order to deliver maximum savings, One Voice Anywhere has been architected and certified to work with Wi-Fi. When you place a call with One Voice Anywhere over Wi-Fi, you will not incur any cellular or voice data costs, including any mobile roaming fees. Can I use a cellular data connection? Yes, you can use One Voice Anywhere mobile app over your 3G or 4G data connection to set up a click-to-call. One Voice Anywhere has otherwise not been certified to place direct calls over 3G and 4G data connections. Will One Voice Anywhere work from any country? Yes, you can use One Voice Anywhere in any country. In certain countries where voice over IP calls, VoIP calls, are restricted, you may be prompted and required to place a click-to-call. You now understand the basics of how to use the One Voice Anywhere service, including how to use the One Voice mobile app. If during your trial you have any need for assistance, the following specialists from BT are here to support you. Feel free to contact Frank Melillo or Keith Blake as listed here. You've now learned the basics of getting started with One Voice Anywhere, including how to place a call. If you have another 5 minutes, be sure to take that time here to continue with this online training module to learn about additional features that will be of value to many users, including how to place a click-to-call when either a viable Wi-Fi connection is not available or when you are in a country that prohibits the use of VoIP calling. To prepare for the use of the click-to-call feature, we first need to step through how to add phones to your One Voice Anywhere profile. This will be used to add a phone that you want One Voice Anywhere to call when you place a click-to-call. For instance, you may be visiting an office overseas that does not have Wi-Fi or may not have a reliable Wi-Fi connection, and you will follow these steps to add the phone at that desk you are visiting to your One Voice Anywhere profile so that One Voice can call you on that using the click-to-call feature. This is something that you would do infrequently and possibly only this one time. Begin by clicking on the More button at the bottom of your screen. You will then click on the Settings button to bring up the Settings screen. Here you will click on the Phones button to view the phones that have already been set up for your profile. In this particular case, you can see that a mobile phone has been set up in this instance. Let's say that you now want to add an office phone at the office that you are visiting. Click on Add a Phone. Within this screen, complete the label and the number as appropriate. Make the label descriptive. In this case, it's general. It says office. If you were visiting your Paris office, you could say Paris office as the description. And then you would enter the phone number for that phone at that desk. Again, always beginning with the plus sign and the country code. Here I have entered office and I provided the phone number. When you're finished, you press Done to save this entry. You can repeat this for as many phones as needed. Let me discuss again a likely scenario that you will encounter. Say that you have traveled to a different country and you are now at an office desk within that country. With One Voice Anywhere, you can add that desk number and tell One Voice Anywhere to contact you at that phone number when you place a click-to-call. Let's now progress to the next screen where we will talk about placing the actual click-to-call. Let's now go through how to set up a click-to-call. To configure your One Voice Anywhere mobile application to place click-to-calls, click on the More button at the bottom of the screen. Within this, you will see that for call using, it is currently set to call directly. What this means is when you enter a phone number and then place call, by default it's going to call that number directly. Therefore, you will be placing a VoIP call over Wi-Fi. Let's change that now so that you can place click to calls. Click on the button where it says call using, and in this case, the screen that appears, we now want it to ask every time. So change the selection to ask me every time. What will happen now is each time that you go to place a call, it's going to prompt you as to how you want that call to be placed. So I enter the phone number, I click call, this screen now appears. I can choose now whether I want the call to be placed directly as a VoIP call, or whether I want, in this instance, for the call to be placed to my office number. Again, let's assume this was a visiting office overseas that you configured. I simply select office and then progress with that call. What happens is that desk phone at that office is going to ring. I pick up the phone, it's one voice that's called me. I then hear ringing on the phone, it's now dialing the person on the other end. As soon as that person answers, I get a confirmation on the screen to indicate that the call was set up successfully. Even though I've traveled internationally, and even though I may not have quality Wi-Fi connection with that office, I'm going to use the One Voice Anywhere application in this example to set up a click-to-call. If I'm using 3G, 4G, I'm going to use a very small amount of data to set up this call. I've told it to call me on that office number that I've set up. I pick up the phone, I answer it. It then places a call to the other person and we have the conversation. I am not in that scenario using my mobile phone. I'm not incurring any roaming charges. Therefore, it is a much more cost-effective means to use the click-to-call to set up that call. With that said, you've now learned about the basics of the One Voice Anywhere service. We wish you the best now as you begin your trial, and look for you to use the service to the extent that you can to place international calls, and then certainly when you roam internationally. Best wishes with your trial.